Welcome. Grateful to be with you for another week. I'm Tim Fortescue, a IFS trained practitioner, and IFS has been transformative for me, and I'm so grateful to share it with others. You can find more about me on my website, faithfullygrowing.com. As we go throughout the time today, if you're watching live, go ahead and put your questions in the chat. If you're watching a recording, you can put your questions in too throughout the week, and I'll either engage with them during the week or spend some time next week. I do this each week, same time, which is 9 o'clock a.m. Central U.S. Chicago time. But so grateful that you're here. If you haven't already, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to help others access the content. And before I jump into our content, you'll hear me say this between now and the end of the year, as particularly it's a time here in the U.S. where people up their charitable giving. And just want to remind you that Faithfully Growing is a 501c nonprofit, have an aspect of the practice that is nonprofit to help keep IFS accessible to all. It helps me to do things like this. And so if this content's been helpful and you have the capacity to make a donation, grateful for that. And you can do that faithfullygrowing.com/donate, or you can just go to the website and click the donate button for more information on that. And if you don't have the capacity, just so grateful that you're here and want to encourage you, just keep showing up as we support one another. Today I'm going to talk just a bit about prioritizing self-care for all of our parts. And at first I looked at that title and said, does that really make sense? Self-care for all of our parts. But I think it really does, because if we can extend that that calmness, that compassion, that curiosity to our whole system, it does bring the care that we need. And self-care, I think, is a good topic for this. For those that are new to IFS, just a model that is proven for healing, and it views that our minds are multiple. And as a result of that multiplicity, we can have conversations and get to know our internal family and know that there's a team here that make us up of who we are. And you can find more information on my website, and you can always reach out to me in the chat, in the comments, and I'd be glad to engage with you there. And so let's look at self-care and what it means in listening to our internal parts and seeking more understanding in IFS. Often our internal world and parts of us are neglected or overworked, and it can create internal tension. You've got those managers that are just saying one thing after another. There's always more to do, and that can get tiring. And these parts that are reacting to one more thing, it's exhausting to our system. And each side of that dilemma that we talked about brings gifts. But when we're out of balance, it's hard to know that. And remember that our parts are younger. They don't know who we are today, too. And so today I just want to lead us in a time to pause and reflect on that internal world and be aware of those parts that may seem overworked or neglected, and see if we can extend some more care, self-energy, a sense of belovedness to our internal system. Because self-care, it's about just awareness and being consistent, not being perfect. We're never in total balance, and so we can give ourselves some grace. And so I encourage you just to take one small step at a time and just see if you can increase your awareness of those parts that may need a little more care today. And so let me lead you in just a brief meditation. As we begin, just find a comfortable position, either seated or lying down. And close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so. Just take a couple deep breaths. Let your body relax as you settle into this moment, releasing any tension or tightness with each exhale. Just begin to notice your breath. No need to change anything. Just observe the natural rhythm of your inhalations and exhalations. Feel the support of the surface beneath you, holding you in place. Just let your awareness settle in to your body, noticing any sensations. If you sense any tension or areas of discomfort, simply acknowledge them with kindness if you can, and be aware of those parts that may be resistant to extending kindness, and let them know that they're welcome too. And just let your internal world know that you're here to listen. And as you continue to draw your focus inward, imagine a quiet, safe space where all your parts are welcome together. And just let them begin to gather. And remember that parts can be thoughts, feelings, actions, impulses, beliefs. Maybe the gathering place is in nature, a cozy room, something maybe entirely unique to you. And as you sit in this space, begin to notice if any parts of you are present. Who's showing up? And there's no need to search or force anything. Just allow them to come forward if they feel ready. You might sense a part that feels overworked and tired, stretched too thin. Take a moment to acknowledge this part and let it know you see it and appreciate all it does for you. Maybe there's a part that feels neglected or unseen. If so, see if you can welcome it with warmth and be aware of those parts that may not feel the warmth, that may be reacting. Just see if they could soften back and know we get to know our parts better one at a time. And remind them that they can have a chance at another time too to have some attention. And then turn your attention back to this part that may feel neglected or unseen and let it know it's important to you, that you're here to listen. And then take a moment Now we're just going to spend a few minutes to connect more deeply with one of these parts that's present. Maybe you choose the part that feels most present, or the one that seems to need your attention most today. And how do you know this part is present in or around your body? Is it a sensation or a visual, or maybe it's words? I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Just focus on where you're noticing this part in or around your body. And check in and see how you're feeling toward it. Excuse me. See if you can extend it just a drop of curiosity or compassion. And from that place, just ask it a few questions. What are you feeling right now? And what do you need from me? A big part of self-care is just being aware of the needs of our parts, not that we can meet them all. Remember, our parts often think they're alone. They don't know they have you, so remind them of who you are. Maybe ask one more question. How can I support you this week? Listen for any responses, whether they come as words, images, or simply a sense of knowing, just that it feels right. There's no right or wrong way to experience this. Just trust whatever arises. And if this part shares something with you, thank it for its honesty and vulnerability. Let it know that you get it, and if you don't, ask it questions. Know that our parts can give us answers that we may have questions to. And let it know that if this may be the first time that it spent some time with you, it doesn't have to be the last. See if there's anything else before we wrap up. And as we prepare to end the meditation for now, take a moment to thank all the parts that showed up today. Whether they gave voice or simply observed. Let them know that you're committed to checking in and caring for them too. They belong. They're not alone. Then take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel a sense of connection and balance within your system. And if you're feeling some of that, just see if it can reverberate to your whole system. Then when you're ready, slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the present moment. You can wiggle your fingers and toes and notice the sensations around you. And when you feel ready, if your eyes were closed, you can open them. And it may be helpful to take a little time to reflect. You might want to jot down any insights or commitments that came up for you. And remember, self-care is a journey, and I'm taking this into, and even small steps make a big difference. And so thanks for taking the time to care for yourself and to extend that self-care to your parts. And I'll hang around for a bit if you have questions. And Latai, I'm assuming that you were able to hear, and so grateful that you're here. Again, if you have the capacity to head over to faithfullygrowing.com and make a donation, always grateful as year end comes, helps me to continue to do things like this. And thank you, Latai. Thanks. Candy canes, my mission today, apparently. So great that you were able to join, and know that reach out anytime if you have questions through the chat, or you can send me an email to tim@faithfullygrowing.com. But so grateful. It's good for me to have some time to pause, and look forward to staying connected. And you all take care of yourself, and continued healing for you, Latai, too. And so grateful for this community, and look forward to connecting next week, if not before. All right, thanks so much, and take care.